Yes, everyone. In the last class, we have seen the different types of inheritance, and we have seen the single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and hierarchical inheritance in code examples. Now, getting back to the types of inheritance, we have discussed clearly stating that multiple inheritance as well as hybrid inheritance is not supported in Java. Now we will check what is the reason behind that. Why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java? So going back here, for example, consider that you are defined a class called as a parent1 and a class called as parent2. Parent1 is having a method called as show, void show. It is printing some value. Similarly, my parent2 also is having the same method, similar method called as void show. It is printing something else. Now, when it comes to child, in inheritance, what you do in the main program, you will usually create an instance of the child class and you will try to invoke the member functions as and member variables of the parent class, right? So when I am trying to create an instance, C child, suppose consider child C equal to new child. C is an instance of child class. Now, what is the method I said you? Show method here and here. That is in parent1 and parent2. Now, when I am calling C dot show, which show should be called is the question here. Whether it is parent1 dot show or whether it is parent2 dot show. Which show should be called? So your compiler will confuse here, raising an error. So you will be getting a syntactical or compilation error whenever you try to do an inheritance. The reason is this one. Similarly, you can see here in the hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance, it is a combination of your multiple and multi-level inheritance. And it is a mix of single and multiple inheritance, your hybrid inheritances. So now, usually you will be terming one problem called as diamond problem in Java. Like diamond problem in the sense you can consider this scenario and you can think of the program here. Parent, child 1 and child 2 and this is child 1, 2. Now, say for example, your parent class is having a method called show. Child 1 is also having the show method. It is possible. This is called method overriding. This is called method overriding. The child class can always override the method of the parent class, provided the same signature exists. If the same signature doesn't exist, it will be overloading, not overriding. The method will be overloaded instant if at all it is not the same signature. So consider that I am having a show function here and this show function here also, right? Now, child 1 is deriving some show method here and it is overriding your show method. Similarly, you are having your child 2. Now, child 2 is having some other functions, but this child 2 will have a copy of your show function from the parent. Now, child 1, 2 is a child class of child 1 and child 2. Now, at this particular point of time, when you are creating an instance of child 1, 2 and you try to invoke or call the show method, which show method is called is a big question, right? So this problem is usually called as because two copies of the data are present for child 1, 2. Two copies of the data. One copy, for example, show here, and that copy is present, that is there in the child 1, 2, and another is from this particular point. So because two copies of the data exist for your child 1, 2, usually your compiler will throw an error. This is the reason usually your multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. Now, whether you cannot write a program at all for the multiple inheritance, no, we can write provided you know about the interfaces. So multiple inheritance is not directly supported in Java, but indirectly I can substitute in place of a class an interface, and I can write a multiple inheritance program as well as these all programs, hybrid inheritance programs as well. So this we will be seeing in your interfaces concept. What is an interface and how it is solving your multiple inheritance problem? We will look in your interfaces chapter. Right. So just having a brief, why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java? The problem occurs when there exists a method with same signature in both the superclasses and subclasses. So on calling the method, your compiler cannot decide which method to be called. That is the reason your multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. So I'll be showing you the program here. Right. Right. Observe here. I'm defining a class called as parent1 and it is having one function called as fun, which is printing parent1. Now you are having another class called as your parent2 class, which is also defining one function called as fun and it is printing parent2. So what is your child class parent1 is doing? It is having one method and it is printing parent1. Now it is absolutely okay to have another function with the same prototype. And after all, your parent1 has nothing to do with your parent2. Parent1 is having one function fun, parent2 is having one function fun. Now I am defining one class called as test, which is extending parent1. This is absolutely fine, right? This is absolutely fine. And I'll be creating test t new test t.fun, right? So test is extending which parent? Parent1. So when you call t.fun, which one will be executing? When you call this, which one will be executing? Actually, your parent2 has nothing to do here. So obviously what will happen? Your parent1 will be the answer. Observe here. When I'm extending parent1, now your test has nothing to do with your fun. It has only the main, it is having main function as well as your fun function, which is derived from parent1, right? So t.fun will obviously call this particular function fun fun method, and it will print parent1. You can see this in the output as well. Now suppose consider that I am trying to write class test extends parent1 and parent2, right? You will be getting the syntactical error. This is not at all possible in Java first. So what is the reason behind this? Now you can see t.fun, parent1 is having one copy of your fun and parent2 is also having one copy of your fun. Now what is the problem here? The problem is, as a as an instance of the child class t.fun, you are having two copies of your fun. Which fun you need to be invoked, right? That is the question. So your compiler cannot decide, and it will simply throw an error. And before that, this is the reason why your multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. Right. So we'll go to the next one. Right after your multiple inheritance, you are having the usage of super keyword, one of the important keyword in Java, and that too especially used in the inheritance. Right. Now, super keyword, it is a keyword. Super keyword has two general forms. The first form is used to invoke the superclass constructor. Second is to access the member of a superclass that has been hidden by the member of the subclass. Right. Observe here, the first use of super is to invoke the superclass constructor. To invoke the superclass constructor, this is an optional. You may have arguments or you may not have arguments, as your constructor may be parameterized constructor, or a constructor can be without an arguments also. The second use is whenever you are having a member of a superclass and subclass as same, then to call or to invoke your superclass members, usually your super keyword is used. The second is used to access a member of superclass that has been hidden by the member of the subclass. Means we'll go back to here and consider that you are having parent and child class here. Let us take single inheritance only. I am having one name of the variable called int x. Child also is having one instance variable called x, int x, same. Now usually in inheritance, what you do, you will be creating an object of your child class and you will be trying to get the properties of your parent class also. Why? Because parent class methods are by default present in the child class. So when you create an instance of the child class and when you try to access, obviously what will happen, whenever you are referring directly with the child class instance, this child class instance variable is only accessed. Now, what about your x present in the parent class? How you need to access that? Using super keyword, you can access this one. Similarly, it holds as well for your functions also. Consider that I'm having a show method in the parent class and I'm having the show method in the child class, right? I'll create an instance of the child class and I will invoke. Then which is called? Obviously, the show method of your child class is called, because directly I'm creating an instance of the child class and I'm trying to call the show method. Then this child method show will be given preference. Now, whereas, how I need to call the parent class show method? I'll be calling using super keyword, super.show I'll be calling. Then super will always refer to the super class members. Right. We will see we will examine this using the programs. Right. Right. See here, all of you. So I'm having one class called as parent class, and what is the instance variable here? Int a. Now what is this? The method which is having the same name as the class name. What is this called as? It is called as your constructor. Constructor is a method which will have the same name as the function name. Constructor can be parameterized or there can be no parameters also inside the parent. So now what is this statement doing? It is printing just like a statement like in parent, that is in parent class. Now, next one, I am having a class called child12, which is extending parent, right? Child12 extends parent. Now, parent followed by child12. So what is this? This is a level of single inheritance, right? Now, what is happening in your child1, 2? You are having one instance variable called as B. And again, what is this? This is the constructor of the child class, child1, 2. What are you printing? I am printing in child1, 2. You can write in child1, 2. Now, I'm having one more class called as child2, which is extending child1, 2, right? And again, you are having one constructor called child2, and I am printing in child2. Simple program. See, it is like I'm having one instance variable. We didn't use this instance variable. Instead, you can remove this also. Just because your class consists of instance variables and methods as well as constructor, we have written one instance variable. This has nothing to do now, but in the next programs, you will have some use of that. Right. So I'm having a constructor without any arguments, and it is printing. That is, this is constructor is a method, so it can have any set of statements here. So I am printing a statement like in parent, that is in parent class. Now next I am taking one more child1, 2 class, and which is having the constructor child1, 2, and it is printing in child1, 2. Next I am having one more class called as child2, which is extending child1, 2, and you are printing in the child2 constructor in child2. Right. Now I'm taking the basic class in which your main function is there, and I'm creating an instance of child2. Child2 C1 equal to new child2. Now, when is your constructor called? A constructor is called when you are creating an object. For example, if I create a statement like parent P equal to new parent, right? This is an instance creation. So when I create an instance like parent P equal to new parent, your constructor is automatically called. That is the advantage of your constructor. If it was a normal method, I need to explicitly call that method. How? If consider that this is show method, then I'll be creating an instance P and P dot show I'll be calling. Now this is a constructor which is automatically called when an instance is created. Similarly, how do I call this one? I need to call this using my child 1 to C equal to new child 1 to. I'm just writing in comments so that you can understand it properly. Now, how do I call the constructor of child 1 to? Child 2, that is your second one, third one. I'll be writing it as child 2 C1 is equal to new child 2. Right. Now this is how usually these are called. Now in inheritance, what from the beginning I was telling you that in inheritance, there is no point in creating the instances of the parent class because the parent properties are already available in the child class. So what you can do, I'll be creating usually what we were doing. I'll be creating the instance of the child class and I'll be invoking the parent class properties as well because your child class consists of the complete copy of the data. Now what is the problem here? What is the problem here? And you can see that I didn't use any super keyword here till now. But you tell me how I'll be calling. Usual way of calling this parent constructor is in this way. Usual way of calling child1 to constructor is in this way. But now what I am doing, I am just creating an instance of this child2 class. What is this level of inheritance? It is multi-level of inheritance. Parent to child1 to child1 to child2. So this is multi-level inheritance. So what I am doing anyways, this child2 will consist of all the properties derived from parent as well as child1 to. So what I'll be doing, I'll be creating an instance of child C1 equal to new child, and I can, of course, access all the methods as well as instance variables. But the problem is how to call the constructor, how to call the constructor of the parent classes. Right. Now, observe here, whenever you are calling or creating an instance of the child class, that is the last class, obviously, which method is called? The constructor method is called. So the control goes here. Now the control checks whether you are having any parent class constructor. Then that particular parent class is called automatically. So what is your parent class constructor now? Child 1, 2. Now it will check whether your child 1, 2 is also having any further parent class constructor. Yes, your child 1, 2 is also having the parent class constructor. So your parent class constructor will be invoked first. This will be executed first, then the control will transfer to this and it will execute the statement. Then the control will come here and it will execute the statement. Right, I'll repeat. Usually when constructors are placed in terms of your inheritance, you are having some problem like because usually you will be creating the instance of the child class. How are your parent class constructors called? Because the only way of invoking your constructor is when you are creating an instance of that particular class. They are automatically called. So now here I am creating only the instance variable of your child2. So no problem for your child2. It will always be executed. But now what about the constructors of the parent classes? Now here you are having multi-level inheritance. Purposefully I placed multi-level inheritance because this happens to any level of inheritance as well. So now what will happen is, in terms of inheritance, child2 C1, you have created an instance of this, so which is called now the constructor of child2 is called. Now at this point of time, your system will check whether this child2 is having any parent class. Any parent class. Yes, it is having the parent class. So parent class constructor is invoked. Now, again at this point of time, again your system will check whether there is any other constructor for your child1, 2. Yes, there is one constructor for your child1, 2. Now, when it comes to the parent, is there any more constructor? No. My parent is the superclass here. So it will stop here and it will execute this particular method first, right? Then comes the next one, the next point of control where it executes the statement. Then comes the next point where it will execute the statement, right? So we'll once compile this program. That there was an error in this project because earlier we have written multiple inheritance. So that doesn't matter. You can see here. Right. Now what is the output you got? In parent, next in child1, 2, and next in child2. So I think you understood the execution, all of you. And how is it called? It is automatically called. Now, how it is automatically called is, the compiler will substitute a default super method here. Right? Now here also. This is done by default. Internally, the system does this one. So that is the reason what it is doing. Whenever the child class constructor is called, it will check whether it is having a parent class and it will substitute super. That is the reason this super, this sort of super will automatically invoke the constructor of its parent class. Now again, this super will invoke the constructor of this particular parent class. This is by default. This is by default. Your compiler will substitute this one, right? That is the reason you are going to execute your parent class constructor first, then comes your child1, 2, that is your child1, 2 class, then comes your child2. That is what the output here also, right? This is in case where my parent class is not having any arguments. It is not having any arguments. But if your constructor is consisting of an argument, see, we are still in the use of super keyword only. So the first use of super keyword, we have seen that super has two general forms. The first called the superclass constructor. The argument list, I said you, it is an optional one. Now what is happening? Though you are not substituting the super keyword, this is an optional one because your compiler substitutes this for you and this is how it is executing, right? But when it becomes mandatory for your super method is when you are having the arguments. Still we are in the first use of super keyword only. But now we will check if at all your parent class is having any arguments, what will happen. So I'm changing the code accordingly. Equal to A1. We will print in parent and plus A. Right. Now I'll take here B. Let us write one statement like B equal to B1. And here I'll be substituting into B1. If B and B are same, that can also happen. In that case, we will be using this. This will always refer to the current instance. So here I'll be writing plus B. Right, in here C, and I'll be writing C is equal to C1 provided. I'll be changing here as into C1. Now here I'll be writing plus C. Right, you can see some errors here still. Now check here all of you. Right, what are you trying to create? I am trying to trying to call the superclass constructor. You know that, see, this is mandatory now. This is the only way how you will be invoking the constructor. So by now you might be knowing that if at all my superclass is having a constructor, then your child class should definitely define a constructor because that is the only way you are invoking the constructors of the parent class, right? So now child C1 equal to new child 2. So where does your control transfer to? Your control will transfer to this particular constructor. Now why is this error is, it is actually having one parameter called as your C1, but you didn't use. This is the first level of error. Now observe here, all of you. See, whenever you are passing the value, consider that only for C1, I can pass one value in this particular when I am calling, and it can equal as C equal to C1. Now, what about your parent class values? That is the question. Now, it is the responsibility of your child class constructor to even pass the values from this particular point for your parent classes also. For example, I'll be writing something like 2, 3, 4. Right? Why? One for child class, that is your child 2 itself. The other one for your first parent class, and the other is for its next level of parent class. So how many variables are there here? A, B as well as C. So now it is your responsibility to pass all the three values from the child class constructor only. 2, 3, 4. Now here I'll be writing, see super, the one important statement you need to remember is super should be always the first statement in the call. Always the first statement whenever you are calling the constructor. So now C1 is for this. Consider I am passing A value as 2, B value as 3, and your C value as 4. Consider this case. Then how many values I need to pass to your child 1, 2? That is its immediate parent class. How many values I need to pass? C1 is okay. Consider that C value should be equal to 4. Now what about your 2, 3? 2, the 2 should be given for A and 3 should be given for your B. So now in this particular parent class constructor, how many values you need to pass? 2 values you need to pass. So what you will be writing here? I can write directly 2, 3. Right?